back to the program. I'm Yogatalama in Gujarat. Now, if you want to book a taxi in India, web-based services like Uber or their local equivalents such as Ola and Meru are growing fast, changing the way people travel in urban areas. But imagine a similar booking service for people wanting to fly instead, ordering private jets and helicopters on their laptops and mobile phones. Well, JetSetGo does just that. And running the firm is Kanika Tekriwal, an entrepreneur who's just 27 years old. As part of the BBC's 30 Under 30 series, meeting young businesswomen from around the world, Shilpa Karan visited her in Delhi.
I was 22 when I started this. A lot of people told me that no private jet user will ever use technology to book a plane when they have a secretary. So, convincing people that we're doing the right thing was obviously the biggest challenge. Now people see us as, see the value add we're bringing in.
But would you say your business is still a startup, or do you call yourself an established business now?
There's a very thin line between the startup mode and the business mode. So when I really felt that we've moved on from the startup to doing strong business and getting people to take us seriously was when we saw a month-on-month growth of 100% in our revenue, and we actually beat our targets. A target we had for 31 days, we met in 8 days. So I said, we're doing something right. And actually the bigger victory was probably when I could meet all the expenses out of the profits. I hadn't picked up a single rupee from venture capitalists or banks or anybody. And when I still had profits left over after paying all my salaries, rent and other overheads, I was like, so this is a perfectly viable business.
So how did you go about setting up a business with private jets? Where did you get the money from?
I started the business completely on my own. I started with $100 in my pocket to spend, and literally took it from there. I had a few people who had faith in me, who gave me business, who agreed to be customers initially because they had seen me perform my previous roles, which is what deterred me from raising money earlier on in the business, which maybe I should have. I always came from the mindset that I will make this work on my own. It was much later that I realized that, if I wanted to scale at the rate I wanted to, grow at the rate I wanted to, and keep competition at bay, I had to look towards external funding. And I never had to actually go out and look for funding. It always came to us on its own.
So who are your biggest customers in India?
Business owners use us to fly to 5 cities in one day. You can't do that on a commercial airline, the amount of time you're saving, etc. The second bunch of users would largely be inbound tourists and domestic tourists, who use these planes completely for leisure. And I'm seeing that rise, which goes to say, yes, people have money to spend. The economy is rising. And last bunch of people, I would say, are people who are using these planes out, not out of choice, but because they need to, for things like medical emergencies, religious tourism, etc. So medical emergencies is when we convert the private jet into a complete air ambulance, do bed-to-bed medical evacuations where our medical team goes and takes over the patient and gets them into a more advanced hospital in a larger city.
But how does the aviation market here compare with an established market like the US, for example?
I would say we're leap years behind. In the US, 40% of the air traffic is private jets. In India, 15% of the air traffic is private jets. In a country with 1 billion people, that's obviously because of, the difference in incomes, the financial inequality, etc. But at the end of the day, we're also a country with over 200 airstrips and airports which are fully functional, and less than 80 are connected by commercial airlines, right? So how do people actually get from place to place? We are their only source of travel. So a lot of corporates and individuals actually use us because they have no other choice.
Kanika Tekriwal speaking to Shilpa Kanan there, and you can find more inspiring business success stories of young women from around the world on our website bbc.com/30under30. Now let's take a look at what's been making business headlines around the country this week.